she intentionally left it unlocked for me to see the message. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Let's just get right into it. So this was a couple years ago. Obviously I'm much older now, and you know, I had a best friend and we went to junior high school together. Obviously we hung out, you know, spend time with each other, you know, do a whole bunch of girl stuff, you know, and you know, we ended up graduating from school and we went on to different high schools, but we still remained friends because she only lived like, you know, 5 blocks away from me. It wasn't anything crazy. You know, I went on to high school and I made some more friends, and you know, I met this guy in my class and he was extremely funny. Like, you know, he was just funny and mad cool. He was cool, right? So yeah, at first it started off as a situation where like we were just talking to each other about like relationships and like the people we were talking to and things that were happening in our lives. And you know, I was just trying to give him advice and all that good stuff. And then it turned from a situation where like, you know, once he had ended the relationship that he was in, we both kind of came to the realization that we both kind of liked each other. And yeah, like from then we kind of just started talking. We just kind of started talking, and you know, everything was fun. Like we had a good time. You know, we used to laugh and joke around, and it was like a group of us. So it was me, and I had like 3 other best friends, and then it was his side, and he had like 2 other best friends that, you know, he would go around with, you know, around in the school. And we had a really good time. Like, you know, we used to play around and joke around, you know, during our breaks and stuff, and kind of like go out with each other. And it was a good time. Like it was really fun. Like, you know, we had a good time. It was fun. One day he had came over to my house, and you know, and I told my best friend like, yo, pull up, because you know, we always hung out together, and it was just kind of like, yeah, pull up. Like, I know every girl has been in a situation like this where like they've hung out with their boo and their best friend at the same time. So yeah, so basically, like, you know, he came over, we were hanging out, and she came over, and I introduced them to each other, and everything was cool. Everything was fine the way it was supposed to be. The way that it was supposed to be. And you know, everything was cool. So, you know, we all started hanging out together, you know, during the weekends and stuff. And you know, he used to live like in a different part of Brooklyn, because I'm based in New York. So, you know, he used to live in a different part of Brooklyn, and he had some family where I was. So, you know, sometimes he would come down for the weekend and like, you know, stay with his family members, and we would kind of just link up and have a good time and laugh and stuff. One night I had basically, you know, spent the night at her house, because that was a regular routine for us. So we basically used to just, you know, spend the night at each other's houses and kind of, you know, just play, joke around and stuff. She had went downstairs and she left her phone unlocked. Not sure if she intentionally left it unlocked for me to see the message, or if it was something that was just like, you know, like an accident or something, and her phone was unlocked. And when I turned over her phone, basically it was a conversation between him and her, you know, telling each other like, good night baby and all that. When I saw that, I literally froze, because it didn't even feel real. Like, it didn't feel real. Like, I could not imagine that the person that I call my best friend would do something like that to me. You know, the guy that I was talking to, I couldn't believe that he would do something like that to me. But they both were like really cool people. Like, they were cool people. So I couldn't believe that they were dating each other behind my back, basically. So you know, when I saw that message, originally I froze, because like I said, I couldn't believe it. I was just in complete shock. You know, I just put the phone down and I just went to sleep immediately, because I had no words. Like, I had nothing to say. So the next morning I woke up and I basically just left her house. And you know, it took me a little while to kind of process the things that were going on. And at that point, it was such a hard time, because, and like, you know, this is my best friend. Like, we've been friends for a long period of time. We have history together. We have memories together. So it's like, how could somebody who I call my best friend do something like that? And, you know, I tried to play it off for a little while like I didn't know, because I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to say to both of them. Eventually, I confronted both of them and I told them that I had knew what was going on, and you know, they both apologized to me, begged, you know, for me to forgive them, and that, you know, it was just a situation that happened, and that, you know, they didn't intentionally mean to do that. It was a painful time for me, because I was heartbroken. Like, from then on, I struggled with making friends and maintaining relationships. I struggled with, you know, believing in people and trusting anything that they said, because I just felt like the 2 people that meant a lot to me at that time, they betrayed me. Like they blatantly betrayed me. I was upset because I felt like there was no consideration. Like they both had no consideration for my feelings. Like there was no, let me at least try to sit her down and tell her like, hey, we like each other. And I think it had a combination to do with the fact that, we were younger and we may not have necessarily been on that same mindset. But I would have rather them had said that, they liked each other and that they wanted to, talk to each other or something like that. But there was like no conversation at all. Like there was nothing. It wasn't until I saw that picture that's when everything kind of came to, the head. Basically, he said the same thing. They both said the same thing where it's like, we didn't mean to do it. It wasn't something intentional. And it's like, it's so crazy because it's like, I knew, like I had a gut feeling that something was off. This is my best friend. This is the guy that I'm talking to. Like, I'm in high school. You would never want to think about something like that. Like, you would never want to think that, like, people would do something like that to you, or people would not be so considerate of your feelings and kind of just do whatever it is that they want to do behind your back. Yeah. From then on, it kind of just went downhill. Like, it went downhill. Like, I couldn't trust her. I couldn't trust him. And because I couldn't trust either of them, it became a situation where, like, even though they said sorry, I tried to forgive them. Like, I really tried in my heart to forgive them and to kind of just move forward. But it's like I couldn't do it because it was like the trust was already broken. It just sucked. So, like, I tried to remain friends with her and, put in the effort to really try to forgive her. But it just didn't work because, I couldn't get past my trust issues at that point. And I think it became a thing where, like, not even just her, but both of them, they kind of got like fed up of me, like throwing it in their faces that, yo, y'all was dating each other behind my back. You didn't even have consideration for my feelings. That was a hard time. Like, that was a really hard time for me. And it's like, I just want to say to any girl out there who is in a situation where your friends or, your partner ends up going out with somebody that you're really, good friends with, just walk away. Just walk away. It's not even worth it. It is not even worth the stress that you basically put yourself through. And on top of that too, you should never have to be an option. You're not an option. They're either with you or they're not. So, I kind of left them alone to let them do what it is that they need to do. It felt like you're not going to choose between me and her. Like, that's not what we're doing. And to me, it's kind of like, if you're with somebody, then it's kind of like, be with that person. Like, this is what you decided to do. So, I left them alone and I basically let them, do what they wanted to do. And eventually, I guess they broke up. He kind of came to me saying that, hey, we broke up and that, I just want us to be friends. And of course, my heart melted for it because, at that point, I would consider him somebody that I loved. Because like we used to have so much fun together. We used to laugh all the time. Thought that we had this connection, but it was nothing. It was actually nothing. And eventually me and her stopped speaking because I just couldn't get past my trust issues. And it became a thing where, like, because it is that she felt that I was attacking her. I don't even want to say attacking because I didn't attack her, but because it is that I kept throwing in her face that she did what she did and that I couldn't forgive her, now she kind of started to build up this anger towards me. And it became a thing where, like, now we were fighting against each other. And it's kind of like, I'm not in the wrong. Like, I'm not in the wrong. Being younger, I think, I don't know what I was looking for. Like, I felt like the apology wasn't enough because the damage had already been done. There's no way for you to take back the pain and the heartbreak that you guys both caused me. There's no way to take it back. To this day, it's kind of like they both will have, a special place in my heart because it's kind of like they taught me a lesson. They taught me a lesson of, you have to pick and choose your friends wisely because not everybody is going to be considerate of your feelings. Not everybody is going to be that real ride or die best friend. I have morals. I believe in girl code. Man around me, and that's your man. Hey, what's up? How are you? And that's it. That's all it needs to be. And it's like, not even to say that, like, they were blatantly, like, not even to say that they were blatantly being like affectionate with each other in front of me, but it was just more of a situation where, like, I would see them laughing. It's a time where, like, he had came to see me and basically, like, me and him had walked over to her, her house, and we were in the park, and basically, time went on, we were hanging out, and It was getting late and I was ready to go home. And he was just kind of like, I'm just going to walk you home. Walk me home and come back. What? Like, what? When he said that to me, honestly, when I got home, I literally cried because it's like I knew that something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I just want to let you guys know that if you guys are ever in a situation, just walk away because it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth the heartache and the pain and the damage that it's going to cause you. I can admit today that, I have trouble, maintaining my friendships. I have trouble with trusting people because it's like, boy, the two people who were supposed to have your back, and it's like not even necessarily for him, because it's like some females will say like, oh, you need to go address the man. You need to go address the man. In certain situations, I feel like, yes, you have to address him when it's a female that you have absolutely no idea about. But when it's somebody who knows your deepest and your darkest secrets, I feel like she did more betraying than anybody in this situation, because it's like, my deepest and my darkest secrets. You know what I like and what I don't like. We have history together, and you could turn around and have no consideration for my feelings at all. You had no consideration. Like, she would do petty things where, like, I guess maybe they were together for a little while and they both got these y'all know them little heart necklaces that break up in half, that he got one piece, she got one piece. There was a time where, like, I came over to her house, the bitch was wearing it, and I was just kind of like, I couldn't believe that somebody who was supposed to be my best friend would do something like that to hurt my feelings. So it was kind of like, that's the real reason why, to be honest, I feel like I've never forgiven her for that, because I haven't forgiven both of them. I've never forgiven both of them for it, because I just feel like there are just some lines you just don't cross. You don't do it. You don't do it. You just don't do it. So it's like, I had to learn, from that situation. I need to start speaking up for myself, and I had to start addressing things if it is that I saw something that I didn't like. So it's like, it's so crazy. Like, I just couldn't believe that somebody who's supposed to be my best friend would do something like that. So I just wanted to come on here and say, welcome to my channel. I'm just going to be talking about, some of the situations that I've gone through, and with the hopes of basically reaching out to anybody who's gone through the same situation that I have, and that, it's really okay, and that your heart will heal from this. You will move on. You could forgive, but you never forget, So if you really enjoyed this video, so like and subscribe at the bottom. See you guys later.